Welcome back to Boring Gear Reviews. This week we have the brand new pedal from Freqscene Effects, the Fanclub. Big thanks to Freqscene Effects for sending me the Fanclub. All right, so I'll get it out of the way up front. This thing is awesome. It is a one knob, 4-circuit pedal. We've got a master volume and then our 4-way toggle. This is where we can select between the Echoplex Preamp, made famous by one of the best guitar players in the world. Next, we have a transparent boost based on the MXR microamp. Next up, we have a Treble Booster, made famous by many of your other favorite guitarists. And then lastly, we have the Electra Overdrive, which is like a dirty boost. Great on its own, amazing with others as well. For today's demo, I'll be using my 2013 Gibson Les Paul Traditional with Sunbear 59 PAF pickups. And then we'll be running into the Universal Audio Apollo X6, and from there we'll be going into the Softube JMP 2203 amp plugin. All right, in this first clip, we're going to start with the Echoplex Preamp. So in the beginning, we'll have just that going on, and then I'll turn that off and I'll engage the Smallsound, Bigsound Fuck Overdrive. If you'd like more information on the Fuck Overdrive, click the link right here. After you hear them both side by side, I'll engage them both together and we get this tremendous, thick distortion. Here it's almost as if like the low end is more fuzzy and then the top end is more overdrive. It's like a great, very interesting, complex sound. So when I'm doing lower, more dissonant chords, it really starts to feel like it's crumbling and breaking apart, but it's compressing so well that it stays very tight. And then when we're up higher, it's just like crystal clear, obviously distorted, but just a very punchy, thick, just a great distortion sound. So enjoy. Next up, we're going to be running the treble booster side into the fuck overdrive. In the beginning, I'm going to be in the middle position of my guitar, so I'll have both volumes rolled back a little bit. One thing I love about treble boosters is not only does it boost the high end, but it boosts the high mids as well. So things get a little glassier, a little more saturated, a little clangier in like a really pleasing way. After that, I'll switch to the bridge pickup, volume full out, and it gets pretty hairy. At higher gain settings, treble boosters really saturate beautifully in the top end. It sounds like a cranked amp, just like searing hot tubes. It has just that quality. When you listen to, guitar players, like Brian May, Tony Iommi, these people where there's a certain quality to their tone that is just so kind of raw and exciting and energetic. This is that sound. Okay, so here our chain is starting with the fuck overdrive, and that's going to go into the Fanclub in the Electra Overdrive setting. We're going to start with my volume rolled back, so you'll hear how beautifully this cleans up, and it cleans up perfectly, like exactly the way you'd want and expect it to. And then when we roll up, like a really aggressive distortion. While we're playing clean, it is very warm and glassy, very inviting, and it's super awesome how different it is when we go full out with the volume. It's borderline a fuzz at this point. So it almost feels like there's a little bit of gating, huge low end push that gets just like squashed and pressed down and compressed really amazingly. This is just one of those sounds where it's very aggressive, but really tight. Some pedals I've described here where it feels like it's exploding with nowhere to go. And that's the sound I got from here from combining these two overdrives. Really awesome. Enjoy. then lastly, we're going to start with the Earthquaker Devices Afterneath for a little bit of delay E reverb. And that'll be going in the transparent boost circuit of the Fanclub. Using the Fanclub after a reverb in this case is a really great way to add a little bit of grit, a little bit of saturation, and a little bit of warmth to an otherwise very kind of icy sounding reverb. So you can almost think of this as like running a reverb into like a board's preamp where you're driving it a little bit harder so it breaks up a little bit. This gives such a gorgeous sound. When I roll up the volume and dig in harder, the type of overdrive distortion, the type of breakup that's happening is one of my favorite sounds. It's very low gain, but it's definitely breaking up. It's very dry, very punchy, very, similar to what you'd feel and hear with an amp. Obviously, you can use this with higher gain stuff too. I just love the way it sounded on its own. A lot of the music I grew up with had guitars that sounded just like this. And that's a wrap for the Freqscene Effects Fanclub. This is brand new, so you know the drill. If you're gonna get it, now's the time. And I think that you can look at this pedal in two ways. One is that you get 4 amazing drive circuits all in one, small enclosure, looks cool, top jacks, top DC, soft click relay switching. And you can also look at it as almost like a utility pedal. So for EQ shaping, for adding warmth or grit or saturation to anything you want, this will do that insanely well. And then just on its own or paired with other drive pedals or other pedals period, it's just a gorgeous sounding distortion. Oftentimes it can seem that one knob pedals can be a little gimmicky. That isn't the case here. Every one of these is incredibly useful and just sounds awesome. I have no idea how you'd fit all 4 of these in one pedal, but he did it, and I'm a big fan. This thing is great. If you're a big fan too, click the links in the description below, pick up one for yourself, or check out anything else I'm using. While you're in the description, if you want to check out links to my socials or the music I make on my own, or you want to become a member of the channel, do that as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. I really appreciate all that stuff. And until next time, peace.